Okay, but even assuming that there were serious questions about how the SIR was conducted, and I don't deny any of that, by the way, I've reported it on it myself. Where is the evidence, though, that the final list of deletions were, I mean, if the argument here is that this was largely cutting into the Gathbandhan votes or the opposition votes, where's the evidence of that?
So there's three aspects, right? Where if you see the various videos floating on social media, they deleted roughly 65 to 70 lakh votes and added roughly about 21 lakh votes.
Correct.
Now, people have shown up at the voting booths and they found that their votes have been deleted. People have shown up at the voting booth and they found that somebody else has cast the vote because the picture is different. People have shown up at the voting booth and voted twice or thrice. Now, what does this mean? This means that the voter list at scale has unfair deletions, has unfair additions, and has people who have been systematic. And if you look at the profile of the people...
That can also be anecdotal. I mean, you can't... I don't know if you can't... whether you can extrapolate from individual instances on social media, the allegation of large-scale voter fraud in favor of the ruling party and against the opposition.
The number of voters, and if you see the pattern of deletions, there has been a pattern of deleting certain communities more than others. If you take the overall percentage of the population and see the percentage of deletions, they have worked against certain communities. Women, poor, minorities, and Dalits and so on. And these are people who typically would have voted against the government.
Not necessarily in the case of women, by the way. All the data from Bihar, including in past elections, shows that women are actually one of the strongest supporters of the NDA. And you're right to say that women have actually been somewhat of the losers of the SIR. Their votes have been cut at a higher quantum than that of men. But then that's counterintuitive because women tend to be NDA supporters. So if the idea is to favor the NDA, why would women votes be cut?
See, the SIR was introduced at a time when the opposition's Mai Behan Yojana campaign was at its peak. Right? It's very interesting, the timing of the SIR. We had launched the Mai Behan Yojana in the middle of May. And the Gathbandhan was getting serious traction in the month of May and in June. Towards the end of June, the SIR is introduced, right? And after that, our traction continues to go up till the Vote Chori Yatra ends. And then they embark on large-scale vote buying. Now, the headline is that it's a 10,000 rupees women vote buying. But that's just one aspect. There's also been 6,000 rupees transferred to farmers before polling.
I'll come to the cash transfers in a second because that's a separate point. But just staying with the SIR, as I said, I haven't come across, including so far in this interview, any conclusive or comprehensive evidence based on data, based on numbers, which suggests that the SIR, flawed and problematic as it was, largely ended up hurting the opposition.
So when you add 21 lakh voters and you don't give visibility into whose votes are being added or why they're being added, and they're being added at the last minute, how do you expect the opposition to give you data?
But then it's still an inference, though.
But you still are admitting that the SIR process in Bihar has been flawed and has huge loopholes.
Flawed is different from necessarily gaming the playing field in favor of the ruling party, is all I'm saying.
So are you suggesting that the current dispensation, the election commission and the election commissioners are going to have a flawed system which is going to help the opposition?
I'm saying we don't know based on evidence. So we can make an inference, but that's different from being conclusive.
No, where do we get the data unless it is available to us in a form that's analyzable?
Well, if you don't have data, then you don't reach a conclusion. Then you say that we infer or we suspect this is what has happened, but we can't say that conclusively. There's a difference.
This is only a teaser. The full interview is available on our website only for our subscribers. You have to catch this one. So subscribe to newslaundry.com, watch the full interview on our website. It is worth your money.